Hello sports fans, it is Tuesday, April the 2nd, the year 2013, and as usual, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Before we get to our weekly NHL State of the Union, let's go through some scores from last night. It was opening day in Major League Baseball, so let's throw out some scores from last night's games. Let's start with the Washington Nationals, who shut out Florida 2-0 behind Steven Strasburg. How good is Washington going to be this year? I really like Washington's team. Nice lineup, good pitching. I like the manager. I think Washington is a definite playoff team. I think they're one of the better teams in baseball. Strasburg throws a shutout and Harper 2 home runs. How good of a hitter is Harper? Just an amazing, amazing hitter at such a young age also. Just a great hitter. I really like the Washington Nationals team. So they start off on the right foot. They shut out Florida 2-0. Also yesterday, the Mets beat San Diego 11-2. I mean, San Diego must be a very bad team if the Mets demolished them like that. So the Mets get off to a good start, although I think it'll be a very long year for the New York Mets. Mets have some young pitching to build around. They don't have much else. Also, Boston beat the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. I don't know, the Yankees, it's going to be rough until they get some of these players back. Got to get some of these guys off the DL, like Teixeira, like Granderson, Jeter. The list goes on and on and on. Got to get some of these bodies healthy. Yankees have a lot of age. I mean, every time I put on the game yesterday, another old elephant was up at the plate for the Yankees. So you don't like some of the things you see from the Yankees. Got to get healthy. So the Red Sox get the win there. The Cubs beat Pittsburgh. Samaja, really nice pitched game. Remember, Samaja was a wide receiver for Notre Dame. Very good receiver. He is now a pitcher for the Cubs. Pitched a nice game yesterday. Milwaukee beat Colorado in extra innings. LA beat San Francisco. How about Kershaw yesterday? Not only pitches a complete game shutout, he hits a home run to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. The Dodgers go on to win 4-0. Actually, it was a big decision the Dodger manager Don Mattingly had to make. Bottom of the 8th, 0-0. Kershaw leading off the inning. He's thrown 80-something pitches. Do you pinch hit from there? I mean, do you leave him in the game? What do you do? Not an easy decision. A lot of people would have pinch hit for him there. Get him out of the game, get a pinch hitter up. He's already thrown 80-something pitches. I mean, it's only the first game of the season. Mattingly sends him up there, and he hits a home run. Unbelievable. So Kershaw, not only a home run, but a complete game shutout. Dodgers beat San Francisco. White Sox beat Kansas City 1-0, as a nice pitch game there as well by Sale for the White Sox. Detroit beat Minnesota behind Verlander. Angels in 13 innings beat Cincinnati. Very nice game. Very well-pitched game. Bullpens were tremendous. These are two very good teams. Atlanta beat Philadelphia last night. I think Atlanta's going to be one of the best teams in the National League. Philadelphia's a little shaky. I mean, they kind of remind me of the Yankees. A lot of age, a lot of injuries. If they're going to do anything, their pitching has to come through. That means Holiday, Lee, and Hamels have to pitch well. Hamels did not pitch well last night. Also last night, Arizona beat St. Louis. St. Louis is another one of these teams. A lot of injuries. Could be a long year for St. Louis as well. Great baseball town. They always find a way, St. Louis. A lot of injuries, though. No Carpenter, no Vercall. Freeze on the DL already. A lot of injuries for St. Louis. Arizona beats them last night. And late night last night on the East Coast, this was a very late night game. Seattle beat Oakland last night behind King Felix. King Felix with a shutout. It seems like every time he takes the mound, he has the propensity to throw a shutout. King Felix, just an amazing pitcher. Throws a shutout last night against the A's. I actually think the A's are going to be a decent team, but when you face Felix, I mean, you basically have no chance. He's that good. So that was kind of some of your scores from opening day. I mean, baseball season is an absolute marathon. It goes on till November. I mean, it's going to go on and on and on. It's like just goes on and on. It never ends, baseball. It seems like it never ever comes to an end. So we're in the very early tadpole stages here of baseball. But that was kind of some of your scores from last night. Over to the NBA we go last night. Memphis beat San Antonio. San Antonio sitting a lot of players. Ginobili is hurt. They set Duncan. They set a couple other guys. San Antonio always does that. Believe it or not, that was the first time San Antonio had lost back-to-back games since December. I mean, it's amazing considering how many guys they sit out all the time. So Memphis beats them. By the way, Marc Gasol is back for Memphis. About a week or two ago, he went out with an abdominal injury. They thought he might miss the rest of the regular season, but he's come back. That's a big boost for Memphis. And San Antonio now in a big race with Oklahoma City for that #1 seed. We'll keep an eye on the Spurs. Got to see if they're going to be resting these players. Remember, Ginobili's out the rest of the regular season. We'll see him in the playoffs. We'll see how much Duncan plays the rest of the way, battling Oklahoma City for the #1 seed. Also last night, Utah beats Portland. Utah battling the Lakers for the 8th seed. Utah has played a little better recently. I have to throw them a crumb. I was on them a lot recently. I mean, they have played a little better. They're beating all bad teams, but okay, they're playing a little better. Portland's atrocious, by the way, and they are a soft road team. I heard one announcer yesterday, I think it was on ESPN, say don't sleep on Portland for the last playoff spot. They're a good, young, up-and-coming team. I mean, is this guy out of his mind? First of all, Portland's about 4 games out of the playoffs with about 8 to go. They can't win a road game. They're soft, a good young team, an up-and-coming team. Don't sleep on them. Is this guy out of his mind? Portland's out of it. They're done, finished. I mean, don't sleep on them. Sleep on them, they're gone. They're finished. Goodbye. Kick dirt on them. Portland is out of the race. I don't know what that guy was talking about. So Utah gets the win last night. Indiana goes into Los Angeles, beats the Clippers last night. Indiana, even without Granger, who's now out for the year, Indiana continues to play good ball. And the Clippers a little shaky. They were really rolling there for a while. They've kind of been stumbling and bumbling the last few weeks. Don't like what I see from the Clippers recently. So that was your NBA last night. As far as your NHL last night, the Islanders had a big win in New Jersey. Devils, Rangers, and Islanders all fighting for that 8th spot. So the Islanders with a nice win there. Tavares, another goal. How good is he playing this year? Rangers do get a nice win in the Garden. They beat Winnipeg. They are in a battle. They are now in the 8th seed. They have the tiebreaker over the Islanders. I mean, Devils, Islanders, Rangers, Carolina, all battling for the for that 8th seed as we come down the stretch in hockey. Montreal at home beats Carolina. Boy, Carolina really struggling. A lot of injuries. Carolina might not make the playoffs. I thought they'd be a surprise team this year, but injuries have decimated them. Canadians continue to roll. St. Louis beats Minnesota. St. Louis fighting for the 8th spot. St. Louis has not been playing good recently. They do win at Minnesota, which was a nice win last night. Chicago beats Nashville. Anaheim beats Dallas. And San Jose beat Vancouver. That was some of your scores from last night in the NHL. A few news and notes yesterday. The Raiders trade for Flynn. If you remember, Flynn was the backup to Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. He had a couple nice games filling in for Aaron Rodgers. Seattle traded for him. Then Flynn lost the starting position to Wilson, who became a really good quarterback last year. So Flynn was the backup. Raiders need a quarterback. Palmer is not the answer. Raiders trade for Flynn. I can't argue with this move. I don't know how good Flynn is going to be, but the Raiders had to do something. Carson Palmer is an old elephant. I mean, it looks like he's going to be traded away. Looks like he's going to be traded to Arizona. What in the world is Arizona doing? They keep bringing in old and bad quarterbacks. I don't know what Arizona is doing. I wouldn't touch Carson Palmer. He used to be a very good quarterback. He is done now. So I think it's a nice move for the Raiders. A couple other news and notes. Tubby Smith takes the job at Texas Tech. Tubby Smith was fired by Minnesota a week ago. I still don't understand that. I don't understand why Minnesota fired him. Maybe they thought they were going to get Shaka Smart from VCU, but he came out and said he's staying at VCU. So now Minnesota has still not hired a coach. I don't know why they fired Tubby Smith. I don't know what Minnesota's expectations are. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do now. Tubby Smith takes the job at Texas Tech. That's an impossible place to win, by the way. Bobby Knight coached there, couldn't get it done. Very hard place to win. I mean, you're recruiting against Texas and Oklahoma and all those teams. Very hard place to win. Alford, as we know, he leaves New Mexico and he goes to UCLA. And the Florida Gulf Coast coach takes the job at USC. Didn't take long for him to get a big job. USC has not had a lot of success in college basketball. They're more of a college football school. We'll see if this coach can get the job done out there in Southern California. So that was kind of some of your news and notes from last night. All right, without further ado, let's get to our NHL State of the Union. Let's start with the Western Conference. We're going to go 15-1, and we are coming down the home stretch in hockey. Remember, it's only a half a year this year in hockey, so teams have to start making their move. You have to start making your move for the playoffs right now. All right, let's go in the West. Number 15, Colorado. They are 12-19-4, 28 points. They have a bad offense. They can't score. They've fallen apart. They look like they're in the running for the number 1 pick in the draft, and it's a very deep draft. I don't know what else to say about Colorado. Number 14, Calgary. They are 13, 17, and 4. They have 30 points. They traded Iginla. It's time to clean house. It's time to rebuild for Calgary. Number 13, Phoenix. They are 14, 15, and 6. They have 34 points. They are consistently inconsistent. Number 12, Dallas. They are 16, 16, and 3. 35 points, 8 and 9 at home. That's what's killing Dallas here. They're hanging around. You know, they're about, 3 points out of a playoff spot. 8 and 9 at home is not going to get it done. Number 11, Nashville, 14, 14, and 8, 36 points. They have 3 games with Chicago this week. That's not easy. The Blackhawks, the best team in the West. We'll see how Nashville does against them. Number 10, Columbus, 15, 14, and 7. They have 37 points. They're 1 point out of a playoff spot. What a nice job by Columbus, hanging in there. They were dreadful in the beginning of the season. They battled hard. They positioned themselves now to make a run for the playoffs. Really nice job by Columbus hanging in there. Number 9, Edmonton, 15, 13, and 7. They have 37 points. They're back in the playoff race after they've won 4 straight. Those would be your teams out of the playoffs right now. Here are your top 8 in the West. Number 8, St. Louis, 18, 14, and 2. They have 38 points. They're battling for 8th. I thought St. Louis would actually be better than this. I'm shocked they're battling for 8th. I thought they'd be much better than this. I thought they'd be safely in the playoffs already. Not so fast. They're hanging on to that 8th seed. Not a given they're going to make the playoffs. Number 7, Detroit, 18, 13, and 2, 41 points. I watched Detroit the other day against Chicago. They gave up 3 goals on 3 shots to start that game against Chicago, and Chicago routed them 7-1. Number 6, San Jose. They are 18, 11, and 6. They have 42 points. They've won 5 in a row, playing nice hockey. I don't trust San Jose come the playoffs. They've let you down too many times. They are playing decently right now, but I would never trust them in the playoffs. Number 5, LA, 20, 12, and 3, 43 points, 3-0-1 in their last 4. LA is a definite threat. Look what they did last year when they were the 8th seed and won the cup, and basically didn't lose a road game the whole playoffs. Number 4, Vancouver, 19, 11, and 6, 44 points, tied with Minnesota for the division right now. Minnesota has the tiebreaker. Is Vancouver going to move Luongo? Is he going to stay? And if he does stay, is he going to start, or are they going to go with Schneider? We'll keep an eye on it. Luongo's a guy I don't trust at all in a big spot. Number 3, Minnesota, 21, 12, and 2, 44 points. They're in the race with Vancouver. Right now they are leading it by a tiebreaker. Minnesota is playing better hockey. They did lose last night, though, but Minnesota overall starting to get it going. I like Minnesota's team. Number 2, Anaheim, 24, 7, and 5, 53 points. Still, to me, they're the most shocking team. I never thought they'd be this good. I never thought they'd have 4 deep lines like this. Very deep team. Very shocking they're this good, Anaheim. Never thought they'd be this good. Number 1, Chicago, 27, 5, and 3, 57 points. They blew out Detroit on Sunday. I mean, they absolutely manhandled Detroit in Detroit, which is not easy to do. Chicago, one of the best teams in hockey. So that is your Western Conference right now. Over to the NHL East we go. Let's start with number 15. Number 15, Florida, 11, 19, and 6, 28 points. They're still playing hard. They're trying to play spoiler here. It's been a disastrous season for Florida. Too many injuries. I mean, too many problems. They are still playing hard. They're trying to play spoiler. I'll give them a little credit for that. Number 14, Tampa Bay, 15, 18, and 1, 31 points. They've won a couple since they fired their coach, so they are showing signs of life. Overall, very disappointing year for Tampa Bay. Number 13, Buffalo, 13, 17, and 6, 32 points. They lost 4 in a row. I mean, I thought last week Buffalo was going to have their last stand. They had won about 3 in a row. They got themselves back into position, and they followed that up with 4 straight losses. Too many blown leads for Buffalo. I mean, their last stand is over. I think Buffalo is done. Number 12, Philadelphia, 15, 17, and 3, 33 points. Too many injuries for the Flyers. They're another team that's been ravaged by injuries. Very disappointing season for the Flyers. Number 11, Washington, 16, 17, and 2, 34 points. Had a bad loss to the Flyers. Blew that lead. Washington was playing really well about a week ago, and they've kind of slipped a little bit. They're only about 3 points out of a playoff spot, but no consistency at all from Washington this year. Very disappointing team. Number 10, Carolina, 16, 16, and 2, 34 points. They had a big win over Winnipeg. They're still 3 points out of a playoff spot and still 4 points behind Winnipeg for the division. They have a ton of injuries as well. That's a theme for a lot of these teams in the NHL. Carolina's got to get some of these guys healthy. I mean, it would be a big disappointment if they didn't make the playoffs this year. Hard to believe. Number 9, the Islanders, 17, 16, and 3. 37 points. They are right there for the playoffs. I thought the Islanders would be improved this year. They are. Tavares is playing out of his mind. They're getting good goaltending. They are right there. They are battling the Rangers and the Devils for the this last spot. Islanders right there. Those would be your teams out of the playoffs right now. Here are your top 8. Number 8, the Rangers, 17, 15, and 3. They have 37 points. They did beat Winnipeg last night. That's a nice win. They are dead last in goals scored. Let me say it again. Dead last in all of the NHL in goals scored. How far can you go with a stat like that? Number 7, New Jersey, 15, 12, and 9, 39 points. They are not playing well at all, New Jersey. Lost 4 in a row. Lost to the Islanders last night. Only got a goal. Ever since Brodeur got hurt, and he's back now, but ever since he got hurt, the Devils have been floundering. Still in position to make the playoffs. I don't like what I see from the Devils recently. Number 6, Toronto, 20, 12, and 4, 44 points. They are going to make the playoffs. First time in a long time for Toronto. Very nice job by the coach. Very nice year by Toronto. They are a surprise team that they're going to make the playoffs. Number 5, Ottawa, 19, 10, and 6, 44 points. They are on a 7-game road trip. I mean, they have really hung in there, Ottawa, with all their top guys out. Really hung in there, playing great defense, getting great goaltending. Number 4, Boston, 22, 8, and 4. They have 48 points. They are 3 points behind Montreal for the division. They lost out on Iginla. They thought they had him. He ends up going to Pittsburgh. Boston still, I think, one of the better teams in the East, one of the better teams in all of hockey, but haven't been firing on all cylinders recently. Number 3, Winnipeg, 18, 17, and 2, 38 points. They're in the 3 position because they're leading their division. They are, 8 and 9 at home. That is hard to believe. They are 8 and 9 at home. Such a nice home ice there in Winnipeg. The fans are great, yet they're only 8 and 9 at home. Really playing better on the road this year. They are leading division overall, doing a nice job. Like to see them pick up that home record. I thought they'd be better at home. The fans are tremendous up there. Number 2, Montreal, 23, 7, and 5, 51 points, 8, 2, and 1 in the last 11. Montreal continues to cruise. They are playing tremendous hockey this year. Montreal's playing like they did 2 years ago, getting good goaltending. I like Montreal's team. Fans up there, just like Winnipeg, absolutely tremendous in Montreal. One of the best hockey cities all over the world, Montreal. Number 1, Pittsburgh, 28, 8, and 0, 56 points. They've won 15 in a row, can do no wrong. Now, let's check out some of these injuries. Crosby with the broken jaw. I mean, he should be back. They're not saying exactly when. I would guess in about a couple weeks he'll be back for the playoffs. No signs of concussions. Right now, he is out, though. Malkin back in the lineup. Goaltender Fleury back in the lineup. Letang out. He's probably going to be out another week. Remember, this is the second time he's been out. He was hurt, then he came back. Now he's hurt again, but he will be back. Martin's probably the most serious injury as far as time he's going to miss. Looks like he's going to be out 6 weeks. That will probably cost him the first round of the playoffs. They're saying he will be back for the second round. I guess there's an outside chance he can make the first round, but right now it looks like he'll miss the first round of the playoffs, and he'll be back for the second if the Penguins get that far. You'd think they would, but in hockey, nothing's a given. Look at the Kings last year. An 8 seed won the cup. It's not like the NBA. So we'll keep an eye on the Pittsburgh injury situation and their big winning streak. So that's kind of where you are in your NHL. The time is now to make your move. I mean, the NHL, you got to make your move now. I mean, there are some battles here for divisions and for the 8th seed. Got to make your move now. All right, as far as Tuesday, what to watch tonight? As far as your NBA, you have the Knicks at Miami. We'll see who's going to play for Miami. Remember, LeBron and Wade did not play the last game. We'll see if they play tonight. If they do, that should be a very exciting game. Dallas at the Lakers. This is a battle for the 8th seed. Dallas has to have this game. Dwight Howard said the Lakers shouldn't lose any of their last 8. More talk from the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers are going to win 8 in a row, please. I mean, I think the Lakers will win tonight because they're home. I have no faith in Dallas on the road. I still think the Lakers are going to make the 8th seed because I don't have any faith in Dallas or Utah. And forget about Portland, but we'll keep an eye on that. As far as your NHL tonight, Ottawa at Boston, nice game. Winnipeg at the Islanders is an important game. Washington at Carolina. I mean, the loser of this is going to be completely out. Buffalo at Pittsburgh. We'll see if the streak continues. And LA at Phoenix. As far as your baseball today, you got Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Cleveland, Toronto, Colorado, Milwaukee, Texas, Houston, St. Louis, Arizona, Seattle, Oakland, and San Francisco, LA. So you have a lot of stuff to watch tonight. You got your baseball, you got your NHL, you got your NBA, you got some stuff. You guys, thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for hanging in there. I'm still healing. I still got cuts, bruises, black and blues all over the place. Still got sprains and strains. I'm still healing up. Feel slightly better than I did the other day. It's going to take some time, though. So you guys, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the games tonight. Stay safe. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll do our NBA State of the Union tomorrow, and we'll also recap what went on tonight as well. So you guys hang in there. I will talk to you tomorrow, Wednesday. Take care.